Good evening. So, here we are again. This is becoming a bit of a habit. 2 weddings, 2 months. Must be some kind of record. Certainly the bank manager seems to think so. I don't think introductions are really necessary because I think you all know who I am by now. I think I know who all you are. But I am Jeff, Flick's dad. Whoa! I tend to call her Flick. She likes to call me Papa. And we often just both call each other Fool. Got no idea why that is. Firstly, on behalf of Anne and myself and Liz and Rich, we would like to thank you all for travelling all this way to come and celebrate the wedding of Ollie and Flick. And what a stunning location. I truly would agree. I mean, we probably all looked at the website and looked at the pictures, but this place is unreal, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
I'd like to do a toast to all the people that sadly couldn't be here today. And our thoughts are with you all. And now I know that a good proportion of you were fortunate enough to be at Rebecca's wedding in June. 33% to be precise. And you might recall I did some analysis on how many people had done a father of the bride speech before. And I narrowed it down to a minority of Rich and myself with 1 apiece. So I think I've just snuck into the lead and now hold the record with 2. However, if we bring golf into the equation, I think Rick's probably still got the edge on me with that. I also said that having had 2 weddings so close together meant that I didn't have the luxury of using the same script from Rebecca's, because I'm sure plenty of you would remember what I'd said, and just changing the names probably wouldn't have cut it. So I've tried to break some new ground. But I have to confess it's not that easy, because what a lot of I want to say tonight I would have said at Rebecca's. Nick Beachy, a barrister from back home in Alfriston, has suggested that I merely swapped around the paragraphs and nobody would notice. It's fair to say that I had the same reaction when Ollie asked my permission for Flick's hand in marriage that I had when Chris asked me for Rebecca's, one of fear of giving a father the bride speech, combined with the elation that my daughters were finally getting married. And yet it's interesting that whilst I've spent 2.5 years dreading this moment, in reality after Rebecca's wedding I found things a lot easier. I've actually been looking forward to giving this speech. I did have a rather amusing email the other day which made me chuckle. Some of you will know that I have a bit of a passion for watches. And from time to time I'm lucky to get invited to events that manufacturers host. I was invited on the week of Rebecca's wedding to a classic car and watch event hosted by Borgo. I've been several times before, but I sent an apology to the manager, Stuart, to say that sadly I couldn't attend because I was busy with preparations for my daughter's wedding, and that my other daughter was also getting married in September, so I'd catch up with him on my return. He merely replied, 2 daughters and 2 weddings in a year, ouch. On behalf of the brand, please accept our best wishes through this difficult period.
No free watches.
No free watches. Before we had children, I always thought I'd want to have boys, but after the birth of Rebecca, I changed my mind and thought girls seemed easier to handle. I guess that's probably a bit of a debatable subject now, but I will never forget at Flick's birth, when the midwife was delivering her, I took a look and said, "Oh, it's a boy." And she said, "Take another look, Mr. Shaw." I won't go into more detail. I have so many fond memories of Flick growing up, too numerous to mention, but a few spring to mind. Her talent for art and creativity has always been second to none, and you only have to look around this setting to see that she's carried this on into her adult life. Her silence and dramatic screams after falling and hurting herself became a family joke. It's particularly after attempting her first cycling without stabilisers in the school playground. Her legendary toilet habits after breakfast, enough said on that. And believe it or not, she was once caught smoking at school, something which you probably associate more with Rebecca. Her obsession with Real Housewives on a Thursday night had become a joke amongst all her friends, so much so that her hairdo was indeed themed as such. I could go on, but other things are synonymous about Flick, which would be wrong not to mention, are of course her love of Prosecco, an Aperol Spritz, designer sunglasses, Louis Vuitton handbags, and of course her intense dislike of the bananas and her intense fear of wasps. Anyone who knows Flick knows she is caring, funny, generous, kind, sensitive, and a great fun to be around. As with Rebecca, Flick and I share a special bond that only fathers can appreciate and fully understand. I would lastly like to welcome Ollie into our family. He's a lovely, honest and genuine guy who I've had a lot of respect for, and I know he'll make a wonderful husband to Flick. We share many of the same passions: winter sports, water sports, cycling, photography, and now even golf is on this. I look forward to spending much more time with him over the next few years, indulging these passions. Flick, I cannot possibly finish this speech without saying how much we all love you and how beautiful you look today. Mummy and I are very proud of you, and we know you and Ollie will be very happy together. I count myself to be the luckiest dad alive to have two... Sorry. To have two beautiful daughters, two great son-in-laws from two caring families. We've had two weddings that have been so different in many ways, but equally enjoyable, and I hope you've both enjoyed them as much as I have. Now, at Rebecca's wedding, I decided it would be nice to capture some of my fondest moments of Rebecca in a poem that can be framed, and her and Chris could look back on with affection in years to come. Our gardener Steve is a very talented poet, and therefore I asked him if he'd help me write a poem that encapsulates my thoughts. I asked him if he'd also do one for Flick, and he very kindly wrote me a poem, simply called Felicity. Okay.
Go on, Jess.
Some days in life are special, and today is one of those. My daughter's getting married, and she's kept me on my toes. When delivered as a baby, I thought she was a boy. They said, "Take another look, Dad," and then I jumped for joy. Another pretty girl to make the family strong. Two perfect little sisters, whatever could go wrong. Ha ha. Teenagers are not like babies when it comes to sharing clothes. World War III erupted and often turned to blows. But Flick was good at school, and she became the head of house. But I tell you, I'm not joking when the teacher caught her smoking. We were summoned in to have a chat. The teacher's not impressed with that. She's not a fan of cooking, and the only smell that lingers around the kitchen area are those of fried fish fingers. Her home is like a temple, but with no religious views. It's just you're not allowed inside until you remove your shoes. I think all her friends should ring her up on Thursdays around 5 to check out if your friendship is still thriving and alive. It's sad to say Prosecco and Real Housewives always wins. You might as well just throw your friendship contract in the bin. But some days in life are special, and today is one of those. My daughter's getting married, and she's kept me on my toes. I haven't got a glass, but in case you... Well, I'll come and get one. Give me a glass.
Give me half pint.
Thank you. Give me a half pint. Half pint, Jeff. Okay. Please stand with me and raise your glass to toast a happy couple. Flick has been one of the lights of my life for the past 27 years, and today I'll hand her over to Ollie. I know he will love and cherish her every bit as much as I do. So here is a toast to a happy and healthy life, full of endless love and laughter. The bride and groom. Before I end and hand over to Ollie and Scott, I wanted to finish by saying that I'm so looking forward to celebrating my 60th with you guys in November. So as Flick would say, many thanks and kind regards and best wishes to you all, and ciao bitches. Oh, and fuck it out.